If you're watching this, that means your son just took a big step. And I want you to know that I do not take that lightly. I'm sending you this video because I think you deserve to know exactly what's going on with your son. And I want to be 100% transparent as to why I am doing this. Exit velocity, strength, speed, that all sounds great, but really that's not the reason I'm doing this. I'm not here to promise you that your son's going to make it to the major leagues. As you know, the likelihood of that is extremely low. My purpose is actually much bigger than that. I built this to give your son the same exact thing that I wish I had when I was his age. The tools to develop himself when nobody else will. Sports, especially baseball, are just a microcosm of life, and the lessons that we learn throughout the game are universal. Your son can take these lessons and dominate life with conviction and confidence. When I was your son's age, I was scared. I was the last uncommitted guy on my team watching all my teammates go D1, all while I sat there underdeveloped, and I was terrified I would get left behind. So I took the easy way out and I settled for a D3 program out of fear. I thought at least I'm playing college baseball and I'll develop when I get there. But my coach didn't have the time or systems to develop me. And ultimately, I ended up on my own. So I did exactly what your son might be doing right now. I pieced together random workouts from Instagram, I asked ChatGPT for programs, and I even saved TikTok protocols on my phone. I stayed weak, underdeveloped, and I got benched. Then I tore my UCL twice, and effectively my playing career was over. But here's exactly what I learned from that failure. College coaches really don't develop players. They select players who are already developed. And most high school programs don't even have the resources to develop players either. Most of them don't have a dedicated strength coach, no hitting coach, and no structure for the players. Your son is being told to work hard and trust the process just like I was. But nobody's giving him an actual system to follow. And that's why I built the Close the Gap protocol. I settled, your son doesn't have to. Over the past year, I've helped 50 plus athletes get stronger, faster, and more explosive with the system that I wish I had. Players like RYNE, who went from 90 exit velocity to 101 exit velocity in just 12 weeks. Julian, who went from 93 exit velocity to 101 exit velocity in 3.5 weeks. And players like Liam, who opened up his junior year hitting 700 over his last 3 games, nominated for Athlete of the Week. I'm sharing this because I believe this is my purpose. To help the next generation of players not make the same mistakes that I made. I understand that your life is busy and you don't have a ton of time. So in the next few minutes, I want to explain how I teach your son these lessons through the game of baseball, and how we make sure he shows up college ready and not underdeveloped like I was. Now I know what you may be thinking. How in the world does this work online? I get it, it sounds unconventional and it's relatively new. But understand, this is not some YouTube or cookie cutter online Zoom program. This is a real-time feedback-based system. Your son gets daily coaching, daily real feedback, and accountability. Unlike your in-person lessons when you see your instructor 1 time per week. And all the other days you're left completely alone. And your son's out there guessing if he's even doing the right things. We're with him every single day. And all of this runs through the KT Performance app. And it's like having a personal coach in his pocket at all times. Here's exactly how it works. The Close the Gap protocol is built on 3 core pillars, and they all work together to transform your son into a complete player. Pillar 1 is prime development. This is where we build your son's physical foundation, strength, speed, and explosiveness. We use a phasic training system that I called Build, Peak, and Dominate. Your son takes everything he's built and becomes undeniable on the field. If his metrics move, then we keep going. If they are flat, then we have to adjust. This is data-driven development. Pillar 2 is Major League Launch. This is where we develop your son's hitting mechanics, approach, and in-game performance. We break down his swing on video. We identify mechanical insufficiencies, and we give him drills that actually transfer out onto the field, all based and tailored on his swing, his body, and his deficiencies. And Pillar 3 is what I call the standard separator. This is where most programs horribly fail and where we separate ourselves. Your son gets access to mental performance coaching with me and my assistant, who's a certified mental performance coach. Listen, your son can have the best swing in the world, but if he spirals after 1 strikeout and he goes 0 for 3 because of that, we've got to fix it. These 3 pillars work together over 6 months to turn your son into a complete player. Not just strong, not just skilled, complete. Here's what your son gets when he joins the Close the Gap protocol. First, we put him through a 1-week assessment. Here we identify what I call his development profile and build a plan around him and not just some generic program. From here, he will receive a customized 24-week program. covering prime development, major league launch, and the standard separator. And if he currently has a coach, no problem. We're not here to replace anybody unless you want us to. We're just here to support and fill in the gaps. And if he's in season, awesome. Busy with travel ball, no problem at all. The KT Performance app allows him to drag and drop workouts on any day, so there's never a scheduling conflict. And he can restructure his entire schedule that way. And when he's in season, we will reduce the volume to account for his fatigue so he can stay healthy throughout the whole schedule. Now look, I know investing in your child's development is a really big decision. And that's why we've made the program less expensive than what most parents pay for private coaching per month. On top of that, we deliver 10 times the value. Most private lessons could range from anywhere from $60 to $100 an hour. For our 6-month program with daily access to strength, hitting, and mental performance, it's less than $20 per session. And you might be thinking, what if it doesn't work? I'm proud to say we are a program with a guarantee. If your son does not make measurable progress towards the goals that we set at the beginning of the program, I will work with him for absolutely no cost until he hits those goals. We eliminate the risk and we tie our success with yours. You have absolutely nothing to lose. But what about in-person training? Isn't that better? Well, here is the truth. In-person training is great, so long as he gets it every single day for 2 to 3 hours. But most in-person lessons are once a week. The other 6 days, your son is completely left on his own. We literally adjust the program in real time. That's safer, that's better, and that is more effective. And finally, if you're worried about your son's commitment, I get it. And that's why we ultimately built accountability within the program. Daily check-ins, bi-weekly testing, we hold him accountable. If you have more questions or want to see if this is the right fit for your son, click the link in the description below to speak with me. There will also be some interviews that I did with some players and parents about their success in the program. My name is Nate Kelly. I settled for D3, I got benched, and my career ended. I settled and your son doesn't have to. Stand out, don't settle.